What's up, guys? This is Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to give you guys a very quick update about the markets. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. So when you look at SPY, as you guys can tell, we have a inverse head and shoulders like pattern on the 30 minutes time frame. And this would suggest that we could be going for an attempt for all-time highs. Now, you could also argue that on the bigger time frames, on the 4 hour, we also have kind of like a head and shoulders like pattern. But the problem with this is that we need to see SPY reject near 646.5 or so. We need to see a big rejection. We need to see SPY get back below 642. If we do that, then yes, we could turn more bearish. So I need to see SPY reject here and get back below 642 for the bears to have an edge for us to come back down. But as of right now, there's no sign of that. And the 4 hour is building momentum. The 4 hour looks stronger. And there is a good chance it might try to go a little bit higher. So we're actually favoring that this inverse head and shoulders is going to be more likely to pan out. The bullish case looks a bit more probable. And for now, we're going to be watching to see how well SPY could hold 646. If 646 fails us, we could return back down towards 644.8. As long as we're above 646, we're favoring this uptrend that could take us closer to 648 and then eventually the all-time high, essentially. So SPY is looking very solid, very strong. And for now, we're favoring upside as long as 646 holds. We'll see if it holds to be safe, but the chart still looks bullish, and the inverse head and shoulders does look a bit more strong. It looks like it has more confluence than the larger head and shoulders. This might just continue to break out for all-time highs. On the triple Q, we also have an inverse head and shoulders. Now, if we end up losing 568, we could turn back down. But as long as we're above 570, we're going to be favoring 573.5 and eventually an imbalance flip for 575. We have upside potential on the QQQ, in my honest opinion, and the upside potential is still there. On the IWM, we also have some upside potential. We're forming a nice, a higher low right here. So this could attempt to get back up to like 236 or so. We're kind of flat for the most part, but there is some upside potential. If we lose 233.5, we could be dumping back down, but as long as we're above this, we're favoring 236 is our potential target. ES is looking more bullish. If we lose 64.60, we could turn back down to like 64.25. But the inverse head and shoulders, there's like a left shoulder, head and right shoulder. For an inverse head and shoulders, ES is going to likely be favoring 6,500 or above. I think we're going to be pushing for 6,500. We're holding up very nicely. NQ is holding up well as long as you don't lose 23,500. We're going to be favoring 23,600 next. Like I said earlier, we're doing well. And by the way, we talked about how the market would dip and bounce, and that's exactly what happened in the morning. We saw SPY dip a little bit from a wick here, then just bounced. So far, so good. Looking at Bitcoin, it's a little bit weak compared to SPY and the QQQ, but there is an inverse head and shoulders forming here. So we need to bounce right here on Bitcoin and reclaim our EMAs around 111,000. This could form an inverse head and shoulders and help us bounce higher. So we're going to see if that bounces or not. On a Tesla, let's zoom out a little bit more on Tesla. This is kind of flat. It's not looking that strong. We're trying to hold this white trend line acting as support, but simultaneously, Tesla has struggled to hold above 340. So I would say it's just range bound. The closer we get to this trend line in the low 330s, the more we bounce. And the closer we get to 340, the more we end up rejecting. So we're just range bound in that range for now. I think we may consolidate in the mid 330s. There's not really a whole lot else going on, at least for the time being. When it comes to Bitcoin, we're consolidating. If we break past 174, we're looking for a bigger push higher. But if we lose 169, we're bearish. I anticipate some consolidation then in attempts to push for 173 points or above 173. Appl looks decent. We're consolidating. If we lose 234, we're looking for a dump. But as long as we're above 240, we're bullish. I anticipate there's going to be consolidation right here then attempts to push for 240. So that's going to be very key for how we end up moving. AMD is flat here. We held 158, which is a good sign. So we could be pushing for 162. Coinbase is consolidating. We have support at 300 and 304 is our resistance. So we're just range bound right here, not really doing much. Amazon, however, is breaking out. It's going to be favoring essentially 238. Meta is going to be favoring 755. And then Google is also favoring a move towards 225 before it tries to bounce. So I think we're still holding up decently. And Microsoft is going to be favoring 508. If that breaks, we're looking for essentially 511. The VIX is also dipping here, so this is a bullish sign for markets. The VIX is dipping as the market's pushing. So let's see, can SPY hold 646 for today? As long as we hold this, we're going to be favoring an attempt for all-time highs. If we reject off 646, there is a head and shoulders like pattern, but I'm not thinking it's looking as strong right now. I think the odds favor us holding up and trying to go higher. For now, the charts look quite strong. So let's see, do we get a rejection of 646 or not? If we don't, I could be looking for, once again, 648 and eventually all-time highs. SPY still looks more bullish, in my personal opinion. All right. Thank you all so much for listening. Have an awesome rest of your guys' days. I'll be back with another update very soon. Until then, I wish you all nothing but the best. We'll see how high the market is in a couple of hours, but for now, we do look more bullish. So we're just going to play the trend and be very unbiased from here on out. Watch your levels just to be safe and just know SPY looks bullish. Thanks again for listening and peace out.